You just heard those magic words, we have a deal. Now you just have to get through escrow and you can move on to the next stage in your life. That means making sure your home doesn't end up back on the market. Here are 6 steps you can take both before you list and during the escrow process to make sure everything goes smoothly all the way to closing. 1. Carefully consider your sales price. If you're working with an experienced real estate agent, he or she should have a recommended pricing strategy based on area comparables. Pressuring your agent for a higher sales price could cause the home to sit on the market, and if you do get an offer, the appraisal may not match the sales price. If the appraisal comes in too low, the seller will have to lower the selling price, or the buyer will have to pay cash for the difference, said Investopedia. 2. Look for liens. Overall title issues account for 11% of closing delays and may come to you as a surprise, said Homelight. Sometimes clearing up title is as simple as verifying that a debt has been paid and recorded correctly, the same way you would clear up errors in a credit report. Other times, addressing outstanding debts can take months to settle. Before you put your house on the market, be sure to pay off any debts, loans and taxes that may show up as a title defect against your property. So here's the thing. Disclose, disclose, disclose. Sellers are legally required to disclose all material defects in the home, so, honestly, trying to hide issues can really backfire. Any problem with the property will be uncovered during the buyer's inspection, so there's no use hiding it, as Investopedia points out. Either fix the problem ahead of time, price the property below market value to account for the problem, or list the property at a normal price, but offer the buyer a credit to fix the problem. Next up, be reasonable and willing to negotiate. It's so easy to get stuck on your list price and not want to come down even a single dollar. But, if things show up in the aforementioned inspection report, things the buyer has a legitimate reason to request fixes for, sticking firm to that price could actually cost you the deal. Alright, now let's talk about limiting contingencies. If you're having trouble selling your home and the only buyer who's come along in 3 months has like 24 contingencies, that's one thing. But if you have a couple of offers and one of them doesn't need to sell their other home before securing financing on yours, it's an easy call, right? Obviously the offer price and other factors like the overall financial strength of the buyer are important, but the great thing about having limited contingencies is that you have a much clearer path to closing. And finally, stay friendly with neighbors. The last thing you need is for the grumpy guy across the street to make a fuss because of increased traffic during showings, inspections, appraisals and all that, and then scare off a timid buyer. Maybe the situation calls for a knock on the door of neighbors who have a bit of a reputation for being testy. Bring a plate of cookies or, hey, even a gift card to Target for their troubles, and you just might be able to pacify them.